Next, from Xavier. The subject is hard to defend. Hey, Konnan, Hey, Konnan, JoJo, and Conversation Terrorists. I find it hard to defend AEW to my wrestling group TXT friends? What does that mean? Group text friends.
Yeah.
We bust each other's balls, but it's me against 3 others who pro WWE. Anyways, did you see after the cameras are off that bit with that geek Hook, the clown Danhausen, and CM Punk? I like a good after the cameras are funny, pull the curtain back, but this little bit doesn't seem too far off in the future having Hook beat CM Punk down the road. What are your thoughts? I didn't see this. Just the fact that Hook is working with Danhausen now, I think is, kind of, I don't get it. Whatever.
Do you want to see it?
I don't care. I don't care to.
Look, it says CM Punk versus Hook after Dynamite, 18 minutes long.
They probably just did 18. Forget it. They probably just did. Bro, in WWE, they do that all the time for shows. Afterwards, remember when Fandango was doing stuff with John? When Fandango first started, he beat Jericho. He was doing a bunch of the post match stuff, with Cena and whatever. That's house show stuff. That's all that is.
Basically, they Hook choked him out, right? Like Taz. And then Punk did a stretcher job, from what it says here. So I guess the guy's point is he's wrestling for the title in the main event. Why is he doing this in front of the crowd with lower card guys?
Right. But it's for the crowd. But they liked it. That crowd, Dark, likes Danhausen. They like Hook. They like CM Punk. So they all just did something together, and it's for their fans. It's not on TV. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So that's no big deal. Next is, but first of all, when they do stuff like that, usually just send some like we used to do post-match stuff like Dark, and whenever I was involved in it, bro, we didn't call anything out in the back. It was kind of like just you do it on the fly, call in the ring, bump, this guy, but maybe he'll come back in, he'll give me his finisher again, maybe he'll come back in, he'll give it to me again, maybe I'll take his finisher 5 times in the span of 10 minutes. But it's just like you just call it on the fly and you just see how the crowd's reacting. When the crowd starts getting, you just end it. So that's all that is. I used to do, I'm sure that's how it works all the time usually. Next is from Mike and Sirleaf, and the subject is, how are they not backing up the truck? K100, what's going on? Allegedly, things have not improved with MJF and Tony Khan since Ariel Helwani interview. MJF is recognizing his value compared to those free agents that have rolled in over the last 2 years. Shout out to Billy Body for the figures on the pod. Wouldn't it be smart to try and bring him up to market value even if the contract doesn't come up until 24? It's kind of like a hot rookie deal in the NBA or NFL where the front office tries to extend a deal before they go on the market and they become more expensive. Compare that with the departure of Brett White's. It's hard to not see choppy waters ahead for the promotion. Would love your thoughts on the developments. Keep doing what you're doing. MJF is using all the tools that he has at his disposal to make as much money as possible when his contract comes up, is all he's doing right now. That's what I guess that Tony Khan offered him an extension to 2026, but I guess the story is all MJF wanted was more money for the next 2 years and then renegotiate when the deal's up.
Right.
So he wants a
raise right
now.
MJF
wants a raise right now. He wants a raise, and it's like, what do you he's got these guys kind of by the balls because this is a guy that you don't want to lose. He's a cornerstone of their promotion.
Yeah.
He was
probably underpaid because he was, when he came in, nobody knew him.
Yeah.
And he's probably seeing the money he could be making. He's saying, why am I taking this money when I can you know what I'm saying? So
Didn't he have similar problems? Smart move. Didn't he have similar problems with MLW because he came in at a low, wage or whatever and wanted more from him?
Bro, they weren't paying him. Yeah. That's not even the same thing.
So let me.
I guarantee you, he knows a guy like Kevin Nash is always saying, "Hey, when you're doing good, that's when you go ask for more money."
Right.
As far as he's the only guy in the business right now that's talking about his contract status on the air that they're letting him do it. I don't know if they're letting him do it, but he just does it, and he talks about how they basically going to walk in 2 years.
Yeah,
It's fascinating that you would think they would have a conversation where they don't do it, they punish him.
Yeah, but he does it so much that I almost think it's a work.
So do I. Yeah. So do I.
Why does Tony keep letting him bury him like this?
So let me read to you. He did an interview with Barstool's Wrestling with Brandon Walker, who we've talked about before.
That's the guy that wants to come on. The guy wants to come on our podcast.
Because if I were Tony, I'd say, bro, cut it out.
Yeah.
All right? If you don't want to sign and you don't want to renegotiate, you don't got to keep bringing it up and burying me and making me look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm giving you good money. I'm giving you a good spot. All right, we'll wait till you're done, but quit bringing. So there's something a little bit weird there. But anyways.
So he says.
Let me ask you a question, Konnan. Let's say you have that conversation. And this is you we're talking about.
Right.
You have the conversation with him. Okay, you just took over AEW. Okay, and this is your first. You pulled this guy aside and said, "Hey, you just like you just said. What if he goes in and does the very next TV? What do you do?"
Well, my whole thing would be, all right, well, first of all, I would have already renegotiated with him, but I guess he doesn't want to, right?
Right.
And then I said, all right, well, then I'd keep him off TV. You know, if I'm telling you not to do something, you're going to do it. Then what worth are you to me, bro? You're not listening to what I'm telling you, and I may dock your pay because I'm not paying you to ask you what you want to do. I'm paying you to tell you what you got to do for my promotion, not for your well-being, but for my promotion.
Like, so for instance, what I wonder if in their bro, because you know these contracts that they have, like Tony doesn't own the IP on these guys.
Right.
Like he lets them do it. Okay, so
that doesn't mean he can go out on live TV and say whatever the he wants.
But does it? What if there's something in if there's nothing like that in the contract? Okay, now if there is something in the contract, can you get him on a breach? If he specifically does something that you tell him not to do on live TV.
Now we're getting nuanced, but
okay,
I'm just talking in general. I'm just talking in general. If talent is going into business for themselves,
take them off TV.
After you ask them not to, all right? And you're willing to give him more money, but he doesn't want to, and he's still going to go out there and bury you, we got a problem.
Right. And I got to take him off TV. And it's like, bro, because why am I going to sit here and push you on TV for you to just go to the company, to go to the WWE?
For the next 2 years, you know.
What's the point?
If you're going to leave anyways, well, stay. I'll cool you off for a year and a half. Then you can leave.
Yeah.
Well, here's what he said on this podcast.
I'll give it to somebody that's going to want to listen to what I'm telling them. And it's as simple as that. That's why Cena was so over with Vince.
Yeah. Right.
He was a company guy, bro. He doesn't have to worry about that. And CM Punk wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So he says, let me explain something to you. By 2024, Daddy is going to make more money than the Hardys have made in their entire run. Once you get into Long Island, you don't want to leave Long Island, so what does it matter if the traffic is bad coming out? I can't wait to leave this company. How about that? Oh, no, hope that doesn't ruffle any feathers in the office. Oh, no. Who said AEW? I didn't say AEW. You just said AEW. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm in a mood. Maybe I hate my boss. Maybe I love my boss. Who knows? I think there's a lot of stuff going on in this company that is inaccurate. I think all these ex-WWE guys are making an absurd amount of money when, quite frankly, they can't sniff my jock when it comes to the ratings I pull in whenever I am on screen. I think they can all go to hell. I think that somebody in the upper management has a problem with me, and it's very obvious if you see what I'm dealing with week to week. Now, does that sound like a shooter at work? You know, I think that sounds like it'll work a little bit.
Well, based on what he's doing on TV, there's no problem. I mean, they're pushing they put this guy on TV every week, and he never has to wrestle.
Yeah,
and he's like being pushed as the number one heel. It's like, you know, so it's like, I mean, bro, he is doing a fantastic job of making him like the hottest free agent in 2024 when it's time for him to make more money. And he's doing it in a very brilliant way. He's letting them walk all over him, so he's just continue to stomp a mud hole in them and walk it dry, is what he's doing to them until they put their foot down and say, you got to cut the out. You know, I mean, like, you know, well, what do you think?
Yeah, it's either that or there's a very elaborate ruse and
right.
They've already come to a deal and nobody knows about it and they're just trolling WWE. And at the end, you know, I just can't believe that anybody would let somebody talk about their company like that when they're getting pushed like that.
Yeah, because think about that. Here's another angle. What if they're hurt that Cody left and made them look bad? And this is all an elaborate way to make WWE look bad when his time comes up and he re-signs with AEW.
Maybe.
Possibly, you know?
Right.
So next is from Anthony.
It's the wrestling business, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. It's promotional wars.
MJF is a great worker, and Tony's a worker himself.